We often picture the arrival of unknown visitors as a sudden cinematic event, a glowing spaceship slowly dropping through the clouds, hovering over a crowded city while everyone looks up in shock. The actual process of finding out what the government knows about unidentified objects is far less dramatic. It looks a lot more like a mundane office audit. In the United States, we have a legal tool called the Freedom of Information Act. It works like asking a massive corporation to hand over its internal receipts. Any citizen can file a request, and by law, the government has to search its files and provide the documents. One specific request, labeled FOIA case number 20-F-0163, targeted a secretive Pentagon program called AATIP. Because one person filled out the right forms, the military was legally forced to hand over hundreds of pages of internal records about this program. Ordinary people are actively prying these files out of filing cabinets. Everyday citizens reading the fine print are the ones documenting the internal operations of these classified programs. To understand what those files revealed, we have to look at Luis Elizondo. He appeared on national television stating he previously ran a secretive Pentagon research program dedicated to tracking UFOs. This internal email shows exactly how the military reacted to that interview. It lists the specific media outlets and reporters who immediately started bombarding the Pentagon's press office with questions. This printed exchange highlights the internal scramble that followed. Officials were openly confused, writing to each other to figure out if Mr. Elizondo actually directed the program or if he just supported it from a different department entirely. The military is a sprawling organization with highly isolated departments. When a story breaks on the news, the public affairs officers often have to investigate their own colleagues just to figure out what the department down the hall was actually doing. This released record features large blocks of gray covering most of the text. Even when citizens successfully demand internal emails, the military blacks out anything they consider sensitive. Earlier, in 2009, Senator Harry Reid drafted a letter to secure funding and establish an extreme level of classification for the ATIP program. He requested it be made a restricted special access program. Think of this as the ultimate VIP room for government secrets, a highly protected space denying entry to top-ranking officials unless they are on a very short, specific list. Senator Reid's letter justified this extreme lockdown by pointing to the need to capture emerging, disruptive aerospace technologies. The goal was to study how these objects maneuvered. This letter lists concepts to reverse engineer, highlighting quantum mechanics and gravitics, manipulating gravity to move objects without traditional engines. Further down, it warns these technologies have catastrophic effects if mastered by adversaries, posing a massive threat to the United States. Locking down UAP research makes sense when you treat it like a billion-dollar patent. The military created this wall of secrecy to win a high-stakes technological gold rush. The growing pile of released documents left the Pentagon with limited options. They eventually had to publicly admit they take these objects seriously enough to assign dedicated personnel to study them. They established the official UAP task force. This specific team was given the mission to detect, analyze, and catalog unidentified objects. The primary concern of this task force is immediate safety. When unauthorized objects fly into designated military airspace, they pose a direct physical hazard to pilots and operations. Disclosure is an active, ongoing process happening right now. It is moving forward drop by drop because people continue to read the released documents and file new requests. The answers are not waiting in a dramatic press conference. The truth comes out when everyday citizens ask the right questions and carefully follow the paper trail.